Reptars are real.
Reptars are real.
One in the talent room.
But this right here is even realer. It's the same draft, exactly. Literally even towards the second phase ban, so nothing has changed so far.
So Paquito? Imagine the one time we say the hero.
Exactly, right? That's what I'm scared
and
of.
That's why we're
not
like an Arlet.
All right, Blacklist will go Paquito. Let's see if the curse works. I don't know if you want to test that out, you know, because I predicted Blacklist. Oh wow, all right. Who would have guessed that, man? Even Wolf wouldn't have been able to guess that.
No, because he would have got inside his own head.
For sure.
True, yeah.
Only the meant to be challenged like us would be able to get.
Is it a BA? Is it a Brody Angela?
A BA or an AB?
Or a Diggy.
A BD. A Brody Diggy.
A
I will
BD.
be there upon
Okay.
the first blossom.
That's the Angela.
Oh, Angela.
We've got it. One more. Will it be the
I think pick up like a Beatrix here. Just switch it up.
Yeah. I'm okay with the Beatrix.
Something else.
This isn't damage. I like it, right? If it's not the Beatrix, what do they want to go for? Do they want to go for something like a Claude, actually, right?
Claude, yeah. Claude.
Yeah.
Anything other than the Brody right now, honestly. Because that was definitely actually the Claude would be great.
Yeah.
Is my tempo.
Your team is picking.
The crowd
It would
cheered.
be great. It would be great, right?
Are they downloading?
We don't have a visual mistake, right?
No.
Right?
So it's the Brody, and now Renegade's like,
Tigreal?
wait,
Are
Tigreal?
we in a time loop? Are we going to be here forever?
Are we still in game one?
is this
Was game one
is
so
this
fun that
Groundhog
we just,
game?
you know, have to repeat it?
No. If this is game
my
one.
friend.
Oh! He just confirmed it.
All right.
Thank you, Renegade.
Thank you, Renegade. Thank you, MTB, for changing something in the draft. I was going to go crazy.
But either way, I would say the strategy does not change because Renegade just now, I would say a lot of the engages did come from the Fredrin, so it doesn't have to come from Renegade anymore. He can just help the Team Kai because that's what Deusvult want to do. They want to dive.
All right. Everybody, let's jump into the land of Dawn. It's game number 2. Blacklist International looking for match point.
Deusvult here with the same exact draft. Now against the Estes. Does it work better for their dynamic going up against an Estes instead of a Tigreal, LaFell?
I would say not really because, again, not just the Estes
5
having that
seconds till the
heal,
enemy
but
reaches
having
the
that
battlefield.
slow as well.
Smash
Look at
them.
the dashes coming in from Deusvult. Is there many? Because I'm not seeing a lot of dashes coming in from them. So the slow coming in from the
Welcome
Estes
to Mobile
is going to be a
Legends.
big impact.
But now they're going to be even clumping it. They're going to be clumping up even more, right? And when it's Renegade on the Estes, it's always the F Estes, the Flicker Estes.
No, one more thing.
What?
It's not just the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. Netherrealm as well.
Oh, yeah,
Brad.
they have the whole package
Exactly.
right
So Sunset Lover's got to do a lot of housekeeping to keep that ult away from Yue.
If Deusvult want to win the fight, they have to have this mentality that we're going to kill them tomorrow.
You're
now.
right.
And the next day. And the next day.
Procrastination.
It's kind of like the draft. It's just going to repeat itself over and over and over. Deusvult, do they want to push the envelope even more aggressive here? Let's take a look at some of the emblems.
Oh, but before that, Renegade taking quite a lot of damage, surviving still, and again, having a lot of movement speed here. Not a lot of changes from Deusvult in terms of their emblem set. They're going for the same thing.
So it's exactly the same as last time.
Yeah.
What a surprise. On the side of Deusvult now, I think the goal here, if they're going to really just invest into this, just try to go even harder than last time. Just try to be even more aggressive and really just try to push Blacklist into a corner.
So overload them. And
Overload.
not going to lie, I do kind of agree, but again, they got to figure out a way to isolate Blacklist International. But that's the thing. Blacklist International, they don't get isolated. They make sure whenever they're moving together. Even Edward, where theoretically he's going to be the one soloing a lane, all of a sudden, either Sensui is nearby, Yue, and right now even Renegade is going to get close.
Wow. A lot of emphasis around this bottom side. Blacklist International want to clear it, and they do it just with one splash of damage. Yue takes away that Netherrealm, just what we mentioned. And Blacklist International, once again, just like in game 1, are first onto the turtle. Edward already zoning Magister, poking him down, getting him to half with a knockout strike as well. Magister might not be able to even contest for this. Has the regen, pops it in, shield unity onto Edward with the penalty zone onto the back line. Another round from both teams. The Blessing of the Moon Goddess as well. Yue. Another realm HP going to be gone. Edward looking for the knockout strike on a Sunset Lover, but they're dealing a lot of damage. Still, Magister losing out in the Retribution battle. The Sensui, the Appraiser's Wrath comes down. The first blood will be claimed by Kid Bomba. The big trade back as Yue dashes forward, but then gets caught in the Ghost Bursters of Sunset Lover to make it kind of worth it for Deusvult.
Yeah, honestly, in the end of things, Magister does go down. It's not good to lose your jungler, and they also lose the turtle, but you find Yue and Edward, two of the huge damage dealers, especially when it comes to the mid-game spike.
I would say just now it was all Kid Bomba as well as Sunset Lover, man. Like, doing a lot of damage and actually controlling Blacklist International. I feel like Sunset Lover with the first kill was able to interrupt some of their abilities, making it so that Blacklist International did not do as much damage as they wanted to.
Here's a big problem, though. Edward continues time and time again to just out-rotate Kid Bomba, and has so much to do with the passive. It has so much to do with the Paquito, and this is where Edward shines. We used to love to see him on the Benedetta. Those proactive EXP laners, those ones that can move around the map, and even earlier when they cut that lane just to get a good position on the turtle, was a great maneuver.
Now looking at the items, honestly quite a lot of same things going on for both teams, but definitely a bigger power spike for Bruno.
Magister shield unity onto Yue. Sunset Lover trying to deal some damage as well in the back, but Magister's going to be stunned up right now. Goes on to Sensui, who dashes out. That's another realm baited out from Deusvult. And Blacklist International decide to disengage with the help of Renege's Blessing of the Moon Goddess.
I feel like that engage was a little bit too early. I kind of feel like going in when it's around 7 or 8 seconds when a turtle is about to spawn could give you a better lead because you're going to make sure that their HP is chunked down. But I don't know, man, going up against this Estes, even when you're doing something right, it feels like you're doing something wrong because even when you get to trade, the trade becomes invisible because he just heals back up.
Looks like they may be going for the lane swap here. Around the 4.5 minute mark, Kid Bomba going to move to the top side along with Edward Turtle spawning up. So Devu, they've been a little bit aggressive. They're still falling behind in gold so far. Can they take this turtle?
Good damage in the mid lane onto Yue, taking him to half HP, but he goes in to terrify them instead. Edward doing a good job at jabbing Magister, poking him down. Meanwhile, Bomba's more concerned with the waves.
He'll be able to make it in time. It shouldn't be too much. Magister also going to secure the purple buff. Can they go for the steal?
He retreat that. Edward force a flicker out. Hard guard coming down. 4-man penalty zone by Kid Bomba, but Sensui still finds the turtle. That was a Blessing of the Moon Goddess, but Renege's caught in the midst of it all. Flickers out to save the Sunset Lover with a flicker of his own. And Edward is forced back. Now under the turret, going to be taken down as well by Sawa.
Let me just say, if you want to give an MVP, man, look at Sunset Lover. The Shadow Stampedes. Again, we're talking about you got to figure out a way how to make sure that Blacklist International don't kind of look at Kid Bomba.
Bomba's caught under the turret, now caught under the Appraiser's Wrath. Sensui takes him out.
As I was saying, Deusvult, they find the answer. Time when Blacklist International wants to kite away, when they want to move back. At that moment, press again the Shadow Stampede to interrupt their movement. So I kind of feel like for Deusvult, Sunset Lover is the key. He is the disruptor. He is the enabler for their team.
He's a player that has gone very, just not as known in the beginning of M5, but so far in the knockout stage, he has been turning up.
A 2v4. That could have been deadly there. Magister goes in, taunted up, Appraiser's Wrath once again, but Magister still is able to survive. Torn apart memory just to poke Blacklist down, and Blacklist will just take another structure. Well, the first structure of this game in a bottom lane.
All right, Deusvult now behind 1K gold. I feel like they have to, I think they kind of just have to step up their macro a bit, but Yue
taken low.
Should be able to get away there. Let's take a look at these items.
Honestly, one notable thing is just that for this time, Kid Bomba doesn't have the Fury Hammer, so he shouldn't be able to do as much damage as before. So that may be the adjustment, going straight for defense instead of delaying it for a little bit of offense. So it's an interesting change. We do have to see if it will work out.
Could be the answer here, right? It could be something that helps him survive a little bit longer when he goes for those big OPZs, right? When he goes for those big engages into the back line, because what happens to him a lot is when he jumps back there, he's immediately shredded down. And with Sunset Lover, Carvey, Sawo able to kind of be aggressive, it might be the magic ingredient.
And now, how does this play out, LaFell? Does the mid-game power spike still hit for Deusvult where they want to look for big fights? Carvey taken low. Up top, no hard guard. What happened? Was Sawo canceled? No. It was a complete miscalculation. And Blacklist capitalize.
That's one of those moments where you feel hurt, man. You have two ways to help your teammate, and none were there.
Yeah, definitely a big miscalculation for Deusvult, and this is what separates the boys from the men. This is what separates the S-tier teams and the A-tier teams. Blacklist International not making those minute mistakes right now as Deusvult unable to keep up.
The saddest thing, Sunset Level was there. He had the Netherrealm, but I feel like the call was save the Netherrealm for the bigger fight.
Yeah, just use the hard guard. And Sawo was like, wait, are you going to use it? Appraiser's Wrath on the Sawo, just to zone him away. Mid lane, Magister trying to hold down the tier 1, but it's still going to be taken down by Blacklist International. And now both teams disengage, but Blacklist are walking away with a 4,000 gold lead.
Let me just say, Mirko, your question was interrupted, but I feel like that's the answer. At this point, it's not because of the draft, man. It's because of the calls.
Yep.
The calls are definitely a problem for Deusvult. At this point, Blacklist International is starting to outclass them, showing them that maybe they are in a league of their own. Deusvult, though, we've seen them turn the tables before. We've seen them able to do things that many teams aren't able to. But is this going to be the end of their road? It's game number 2 right now. Devu sitting at a significant deficit, but definitely still have some fighting capabilities here.
Right now, my personal worry is for Deusvult. If you want to win a fight, you need damage. And Carvey, I don't know if he, after what happened just now, he still has the mentality to move forward to dish out the damage. And at this point, even I don't know.
Yeah.
Should he have the mentality to move forward? Maybe it's better to take a back seat, see what happens first, and then dish out the damage. Maybe let Yue do the initial part of the damage, and then have Carvey get some stacks and then finish it off?
I think so. I think the whole point of the Brody here is to be the executor, right? It can't be the main source of damage here as, again, the way that they're fighting, they need to bait out a lot of these abilities. The Netherrealm coming in, the Blessing and the Moon Goddess, you put a Torn Apart Memory against two of those, and it's basically a wasted ultimate for the Brody. So it's really how they layer these abilities, the damage source as well, to get the execute onto the right members of Blacklist.
The big problem is Carvey's supposed to snowball. The Brody is supposed to have a kill or two by now. And at this point, he has nothing. He actually has a death. Whoa.
Penalty zone flicker to the back right now. Netherrealm coming down, very clutch. Blessing the Moon Goddess coming down as well. Kid Bomba, very, very low. Oheb walks forward, finds the shot. Edward running away. Sensui onto Magister now as he grants all the space that Blacklist need to get Oheb all those free hits.
Not only did Blacklist win out in that fight, but they walked out of that fight with full health bars. Deusvult unable to even chip into the heal coming from Renegade right now from the space created from the team of Blacklist. Deusvult aren't going to be able to last much longer if this is how fights keep going.
I don't want to be a party pooper, man, but at this point, I feel like Blacklist International, they need to receive damage from the crystal for them to die.
Yeah.
I feel like the turrets have to chip in.
They really do, Lofel. I think if the turrets don't chip in, Deusvult just simply don't have enough damage to melt down these HP bars. If it was bad earlier in game number 1 against the Tigreal, now put an Estes in and we got the answer we were looking for.
Dude, this is one of those comps where you just want to go to the next game, man.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot to compete with. Blacklist International closing in on the towers, Lord on the top side.
Torn Apart Memory used up, Oheb just soaks it in. Knows that there's Renegade on the side to give him more HP as Yue cuts in as well, looking for another angle to dish out damage, and there's no punishment. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Sunset Lover dealing some good damage onto Edward, but again, he can just sustain back up.
Let me just say, it's been 4 to 5 kills. It's a low kill count game. It's just because Blacklist International, there's never a point they have to force it. They do enough damage where Deusvult have to disengage.
Force macro dominance, Kid Bomba poke down, one more shot, Oheb again! Even with the DPZ, it isn't enough to get away from the Filipino sniper.
That could be it. Blacklist International going to start chipping away at these towers right here. Deusvult need an answer. They need something to get out of this heal hell that they're in right now. Blacklist International trying to close things up.
What is the answer?
No, let me just say, Oheb took a lot of turret shots.
And he still didn't die.
And he still didn't die.
You know why?
Renegade.
Renegade,
The
heel man.
The heel man with the Haas claw? It doesn't matter if you have a box, yeah?
And they also have the Nether Realm. It's just...
No, 50% of what Blacklist has is still a lot. It's like 50% out of 1,000,000. 500,000 is still a lot.
That's a lot.
And you can see from Edward as well, usually you expect the Bloodlust axe, right? He went straight for the Oracle, so he knows, you know what, I'm just going to rely on Renegade to heal me back up.
Because as long as they buy time, right? As long as they're able to make these fights last more than 5-10 seconds, they always come out on top. At this point, it doesn't seem like there's an answer for Deusvult. Kid Bomba went for the more defensive build in the beginning. Carvey is still 0-1. I mean, nobody on the team can really do any damage to them.
Because the answer is, you want to outlast the Netherrealm and outlast the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. But let's be realistic. Can you? Right? Unless Kid Bomba dives in completely alone. And he gets all of those things. Maybe. But let's be realistic here. I think that's difficult to do.
There's too much layering. Definitely way too much. Not just from the abilities to keep them alive, but also that damage. That Lord was blitzed.
I mean, not only that, but then you add a 10K gold lead on top of all those things, right? It's just,
Salt to the
definitely just a little salt in the wound. Now we have Oheb already completely maxed out in items, as Carvey is still lacking 2. He's at a, what, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, a 2,700 gold deficit right now.
Renegade as well, having the Enchanted Talisman as well as the Flask of the Oasis. Now, in case you guys don't know what a Flask does, when your HP is low, when you heal someone, they gain a shield. And at the late game, the shield is basically like 60% of your HP. Good luck trying to get anyone down at that point.
Especially when you have an 11,000 gold lead. Edward, knockout strike on 2 right now as another round gets popped in right now with a torn apart memory as well. Blacklist International, so Bamba with a desperate play in the end, but the Appraiser's wrath comes down, and Oheb is 3-hitting. Game number 2 will end with Oheb picking up a triple kill.
Blacklist International keep on stomping. Deusvult losing another game. That was a rough one.
This time, Blacklist coming in with a draft that is basically unkillable. They're not kiting for this one. They're pushing forward. They're challenging the Dark Knight. We know you won't have enough damage. Try as you might, but we're not going down. We got the Heel Man.
And the Hitman.
He's the nicest Hitman I've ever seen.
Yeah.